Yo, what's going on, guys? Milk. Sorry about that. Just love milk, man. Milkman. The Milkman. We're gonna be, you'll never guess it, we're gonna be continuing our Pokemon Red and Blue Hardcore Nuzlocke, hopefully finishing it today. And then we can move on to Gold and Silver. If we lose, though, we're gonna have to start all the way over, so that's fun. Because I want to do this legitimately. Anyway. Alright. So, we got Snorlax currently. We got Hitmonlee currently. We got, oh, I didn't mean to fly. We got Pidgeotto currently, which we're going to replace with Zapdos after Blaine. So, which, by the way, Blaine. Level cap for Blaine is 47, so. And we're just going to, I'm probably just going to attempt to sweep with Gyarados, honestly. That's probably what my strategy is going to be. Like, I know I fought some of these guys, and that was weird. Both OBS and my game froze. That was really weird. I do not know why. Oh, I forgot to pull up chat. Oops. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we got chat up. All right. Army, you are gifted, my. It's so funny. Oh. Oh, nice. Hydro Pump. I'll probably forget Leer. Actually not a bad move, honestly. Solid if like I really need a strong move, like suddenly. I wanna check Hydro Pump's accuracy in this game. What is Hydro Pump's accuracy in Gen 1? Generation 1. Oh wow, they actually weakened it to be 110 power? Okay. But no, it's still 80 accuracy, okay. I thought so, I just wanted to make sure, you know. But whatever. Alright, anyway, we made it to Cinnabar. Oops. Let me heal. And then, we have Gloom, right? Yeah, let's get Gloom out of the EC. So we can status our encounter for Cinnabar Island. No, I got a Ballin. I was thinking of Ballish. I think Ballish. Yeah, here we go. That's who it was. Still not sure if I'm gonna want to use Vileplume in the Elite Four. I don't know. Probably not. We'll see. Okay, that doesn't count. Does this count as Cinnabar? There is okay, this counts as Cinnabar. Alright. Counter for Cinnabar is, we actually might not be able to get an encounter, I don't know. Actually I think we can. Hold on, where's the Super Rod? Super Rod is south of Lavender Town, right? Yeah. Alright, now we can get an encounter there. Sheller. Okay, I'll take it. Nice clam. Not the most original name, but it's whatever. Well, now we get another water type option. Anyway. Actually, we want to keep Ballish out front because we want to get our mansion encounter here. Which is a coughing. I don't think I have a coughing. Nice. I don't know how to spell emphysema, so I'm just gonna do my best approximation. I have emphysema. Oh. Anyway. Now, how many Pokemon are in our box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. 16 Pokemon in the box. I want to keep track of that because if we go try to catch a Zapdos and our box is full, we're not going to be able to catch it and we're just going to fail the encounter. So let me keep track. I'm going to write 16 in this window. So I keep track of how many Pokemon are in the box. Let me recount actually just to play it safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Okay, there's actually 15, but I'm gonna say there's 16 just to play it safe. Anyway, Flirt back up front. All right, we gotta do the Cinnabar Island thing. Island. I didn't mean to go upstairs. We'll look around, we want items and stuff. We need to get some pretty good experience here, actually. Legit MYAAA. Okay. Around. Game on 8 times speed for this area because the encounters by a little bit. Nice. Okay, let's go deposit some stuff. The bag keeps getting full, or it's gonna keep getting full. Okay. Deposit our super rod. What else should the card key? You can go sell the carbos. Let's go sell the carbos. Oh, and I want to go back to wait, first before I forget. I want to go back to Saffron City because there's a hidden item. I was watching J-Rose and there's a hidden elixir. And I wanted to get it because it's probably gonna be helpful. It should be right here. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I went back for that though because that's probably gonna come in really handy. All right. Next Cinnabar Island. No more room for items and stuff. Okay, we got all the stuff. Well, actually, no, hold on, we didn't. Max potion, nice. Okay. Get over here. Alright, more than that up. No, that's it. Can't really. Okay, no, I already went down there, and it was. Okay, we want to talk. Good. Wow, seriously, that didn't kill. Why? I stayed in it. There's literally nothing there. I mean, there's probably like a hidden item or something, but like. Dude, when the trainer's Pokemon are a lower level than the wild Pokemon, you know they're freaking doing something wrong, bro. What is this TM? Highwave? Oh, yeah, I could have sold that. I'll just toss it here, no. That just makes me exit it. Ah. What is TM at 1? Oh, it's a dude. I guess I lost the max potion. Blizzard is a great TM, actually. Definitely want to keep that. Oh, I want to fight you. You gotta be careful because you don't want Gyarados to get past level 47 or Blaine. So we're gonna switch him out for Burlax here. Okay. This is a TM. I think this is Solar Beam. which I probably want to take. We'll toss this. Dear Lord. All right, we're gonna have to toss something that's like worth money. Crap. Honestly, let me just. I'll just toss these super potions, man. All right, go take on the Blaine trainers real quick. Oh, let me sell. Deposit the teams. I don't. Actually, a solar beam. Good. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and deposit all of those. And then we can deposit the secret key once we beat Blaine. Someone called Baby Wawa. Oh, seriously, couldn't have leveled up there. You would have been right there. That's so annoying. It's fine though. Of course. I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, let's grind Brolax now. Level 47. Because he's got amnesia, so he actually might come in handy. So let's just see from islands. We can get an encounter here. Could also get Articuno on my team. I don't really know if I want Articuno. Me when Snorlax one-shots everything. See you, mate. Can I switch out when I've claimed? Okay. I only can remember. Oh, crap. I have to go to Brawlix here. Can't risk it. Don't want to risk any stupid deaths. Oh, wait, hold on. I should get Gloom so I can get my MYAAA encounter. Alright, counter is horsey. No, I don't think I. Alright. Gonna mark it down as 17.
What's up everyone, Spencer here with SB Mowing. I'm here at Costco and I'm picking up the exclusive line of Scott's Max Fertilizer. Let's go get it.
I don't know. Sore, I guess. I don't freaking. Oh right, hold on. I have to consider. Do I even want want Articuno? I really don't know. It's not awful. Ugh. Hmm. All right. It's not bad. It's just its type sucks. What is it weak to? Okay, fire. Electric. Rock. Only 3 weaknesses. Honestly, isn't that bad. In fire, we only have to worry about for the rival. Rock, we only have to worry about for Bruno, which I'm not worried about Bruno. Oh yeah, I mean yeah, I guess it could be worth it. Zapdos isn't weak to fire or electric, so it'd still be worth having both on the team. He's only weak to rock, I believe, and ice. Oh, but Gyarados is gonna be weak to rock too. Well, we'd have Articuno, Zapdos, Gyarados. Those are the 3 I'm pretty sure. Snorlax won't be weak to rock. We want a Psychic type if possible, but I don't think we have any Psychic types, nor can get any more. Get any more. Actually, I don't think we can get any more encounters for the power plant. But we already have Zapdos for our electric type. Oh, we want Hitmonlee. I will have Hitmonlee to deal with Bruno. And then I'll figure out my final Pokemon. Oh wait, Eevee. We'd have water. We'd probably want Flareon. Maybe. We might want Flareon. It's Flamethrower at level 54. Level cap is gonna be level 62. Yeah, so we can get Flamethrower on you. As well as Fire Blast, except I don't know where we can get Fire Blast. If at all, really. And also teach a Body Slam too. Now the thing is though, is Flareon our best fire type option? No, I can't confidently say your best fire type option. We'll look at the box. We'll look at the box. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, no, I'll catch Articuno. Only problem is we were kind of underleveled. So we'll come back. We'll come back for that. Once we beat Giovanni. Oh, well, yeah, probably won't get Zapdos or Articuno until we beat Giovanni. And then I'll get my Pokemon to level 62, which is the level cap that we're gonna have to be at, or 60 or whatever. And then we'll go catch legendary birds just to make sure that we'll have as much health and money as possible while trying to catch them. But anyway, where am I? Okay, I'm in Fuchsia City. Yeah, let me heal real quick. All right, well, whatever. Let's just go take on Blaine. Wait. We'll lead with Snorlax, and we can always switch out to Gyarados if things get dicey. me save. All right. And that, my friends, is why we use Amnesia, because that did like nothing. The only way he would have been doing a crap ton of damage is if he crit, which was likely but not guaranteed, obviously. Anyway, next level cap is 50. Let me take a look at Giovanni. On. Yeah. Let me take a look at Giovanni's team real quick. Hold on. Okay. Giovanni has Doug Trio, version, Nidoqueen, right on Nidoking. Oh, this doesn't seem right. Why does it say that he has level 55 if this is the level cap is level 50? Maybe that's for yellow? Oh yeah, that's for yellow. Okay. Okay, see here, Rhyhorn, Doug Trio, Nidoqueen, right on Nidoking. Yeah, all these Pokemon except for Doug Trio, I should be able to outspeed. Actually, no, I'll be able to outspeed Doug Trio. It's only level 42. So yeah, so no, we should be able to just get Gyarados to level 50 and then sweep. That's what we should be able to do. Let me deposit secret key. I don't need it anymore. And then deposit this. All right. Go take on the Giovanni gym. Yeah, so it's a pretty good sign that I'm gonna outspeed the Doug Trio. I didn't one shot. Kind of shocked actually. So I don't think I fought. Oh, I did? Oh, okay. Let's go get Gyarados level 50 and then now we could take on Giovanni. There you go. Alright, Chief on time. Let's do it. Alright, GG's. Alright, now we can start putting together our team for the Elite Four and stuff. Alright. Let me think. Is there any last minute locations we can go catch a Pokemon? Maybe we got it. Except for Victory Road. Well, let's be honest. Anyway. We also have to think, do I want to get Moltres? Moltres might be good to get. Google Chrome did that thing where it froze. Fine.
Ran over a t-shirt.
Anyway. Yeah, unfreeze. He gets Peck and Fire Spin. Thanks. Does he get Fire Blast? He doesn't get Fire Blast. .85 accuracy. Do we even need a fire type, really? Yeah, I don't even know if we really even need a fire type. Alright. But yeah, anyway, no, I don't think that there's any other location I can put one. So let's see what we got. Deposit Polish. Alright, so we got Seadra. I don't need a water type. We got Weezing. We could have a Weezing. Is poison type really gonna be useful? I don't think a poison type being useful in the Elite Four. Gotta show closer. We don't need a water type. Benedict is Execute. Grass Psychic. Well, that's a Psychic type. Executor is a Psychic type. The only problem is it good? I don't know. Could be nice for Agatha to have Executor, but it's slow, so it's gonna be outsped and put to sleep probably. Think about it. Who is Ditto again? Who are you? Ditto. Okay. I guess it was pretty self-explanatory. Anyway. Pirate. Who's that? Spearow. Could have a Farfetch'd, but we already have plenty of flying types. We don't need any more. Onyx, no. Zoo is a Zubat. Golbat, no. Shrek, I don't. We're definitely not Arbok. Oh, we don't need Doduo. We don't need Primeape. We are different Hitmonlee. Bruh is just stupid. Lara is our Lapras, which we don't need no Lapras. Ballins, Electrode, no. Alright, the only one I need to see who here is Trek. That's the Eevee, right? Right, that's the Eevee. Which probably not gonna use. I'll write down my team somewhere. Yo, what's going on? Amblyopia? BL World. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Welcome in. We're just putting together our team for the Elite Four. We're doing a Pokemon Red and Blue Hardcore Nuzlocke. And so I was looking for a place to like wanting to put down what I want my final team to be. I think I want Snorlax, Zapdos, Articuno, Hitmonlee, Gyarados. That's 5. So I'm trying to figure out what I want my last team member to be. I don't know. The thing is, we're not even guaranteed to catch Zapdos or Articuno. Well, we're guaranteed to catch Zapdos. We're not guaranteed to catch Articuno. I'd like a Psychic type, but we don't really have... The only Psychic type option we have is Executor. And Executor will be slow. Executor will be real slow. Yeah, it's not... It'd get demolished by Agatha. I could take Dugtrio, which is a fast ground type. That might be good. Yeah, we got Dugtrio in our party. We got Pidgeotto. No. Yeah, I guess we'll do Dugtrio. Just for Agatha. Purely for Agatha. Alright. Let's do it. That's what our final team will be. So, first thing I want to do is let's deposit... Trek, we don't need you. We're gonna change boxes here. Box 2. Because, just in case. Anyway, we're gonna need to grind. And daycare's... actually, I don't know if daycare would be the best option. I really don't know. Okay, Gyarados gets one more move at level 52, and then we can just unbound it for the daycare. So yeah, let's go get Gyarados up to level 52 real quick. Yeah, we don't actually. Do we want Hyper Beam? We actually might want Hyper Beam. If I get Dragon Rage, I'm not gonna ever use that, and then I can always replace it like later. Anyway. Yeah, go to level 52. That's his last level at move. Pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, this is his last level at move. Anyway, let's go to the daycare. And let's just see how fast that's gonna be. While keeping in mind that the level cap is going to be level 62. Wait, what? I can't accept Pokemon that knows that HF. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. Alright, well, I guess our
everyone, that is the end.
Experiment Piggy's gonna have to be, I guess our Experiment Piggy's gonna have to be Snorlax. So let me look up Snorlax's moveset. What's going on there? Last level it moves Hyper Beam at level 56. It's like a while from now. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I think Cinnabar Island Mansion is really the best place to try and... I think. We actually might want to teach Hyper Beam to Snorlax too. Yeah, see, I figured it wouldn't. Well, let me pull up Doug Trio's moveset too. It's Earthquake at level 47. Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna want that. The same power as Dig, it's just, it's what, you don't have to, like, wait the turn or whatever. Down the stairs. Ah, didn't mean to do that. And it sucks because every time I poison myself, I have to leave, or else I'm gonna die from the poison. Oh, Earthquake over Scratch. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I didn't poison though. So do I even want Hitmonlee? I think about it. I don't. There's the only trainer I can see myself using Hitmonlee against is Lorelei, and maybe maybe the champion. But honestly, I'm probably just gonna. Well, I don't know if I'd use. I don't know if I'd use Zapdos Lorelei. I mean, no, probably actually. It'll be a higher level. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna use Hitmonlee. I'll probably skip out on probably skip out on using on Hitmonlee. One less Pokemon for me to grind anyway. Jordan picks so quiet.
Got Cypher back into the grind with the AGDQ relay race. This event was called Chase for the Record.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Chase for the Record Rockman 2, and we have quite a show for you today. So Chase for the Record is an online competition where you'll take typically the best 4 players in a game that is highly competitive at a moment in time and get all of them to play at the same time, to do attempts at the same time, and then you can kind of show like who's actually on a good pace and hopefully see a world record during the attempts, which is generally about a 3-hour window.
This event would feature 4 competitors. Cypher and Ella were the first 2, the former and current world record holders. The third was Zoda, a promising runner whose best time was in the low 27s. And the fourth was Cool Kid, but you might know him better as the Big Boy. He had changed his username and started running Rockman 2 seriously, and had driven his time all the way down to 26:56, a legitimate world record contender. This was going to be Cypher's last chance. 3 hours to get it done. But the odds of him actually pulling this off weren't great.
I think Cypher was hoping for big things, but you know, realistically, you can't expect in a 3-hour period in a game of such a high level of difficulty that you would actually get the record. The odds are very low. They're not in your favor.
It was my last day to do runs, and it would have been a sort of historic moment where it would be the first time anyone ever set a record during an event like this.
So in the beginning of the event, typically you want to kind of introduce the game to the audience. So we have them do a no reset run, just 4-way race. Nice mashing there from Cool Kid. He can finish it off.
Looks like 27-28.
Wow. And then it was on into attempts. But Cypher has moved on. He is going to be into Heatman in a moment, and Zoda right into attempts as well.
I'm not sure I've ever been as focused on anything in my life.
And Cypher going to set up this first zip here. Nicely done.
Yep, right up against the ceiling. That's what you're looking to see from any of those item 1 zip setups.
I've got 3 hours. I'm going to try my best to make it happen, and whatever happens, happens.
And he gets the 1 blade. That's probably the most favorable pattern.
Pretty quickly, I got a run deep in the game, and I got a run to Wily too. That was on good pace. I'm pretty sure it was on record pace.
He's in.
Oh no!
He didn't go far enough to the right.
No, that's rough.
Ah, man, he was like 1 pixel away, and he stopped.
I was a little disappointed, but I was like, you know what? It's just 1 run. We like immediately into another run. I was very accepting of the probable outcome that I wouldn't set the record on that show.
As Cool Kid makes his way into what many think is the most dangerous stage in the game, Wily 4, Purple Hell. Cool Kid managed to get on a run, and he actually got a small PB for this, just being on this show. Okay, let's see what kind of entry he gets. Really?
I was just not paying attention to anything else happening in the event. I was not listening to the commentary.
All right, come on, Cool Kid. Just 1 shot there.
Okay.
Get mashing. And he finishes it off.
26-56.
I think that...
I'm not sure I even knew that Cool Kid got a PB. Someone may have mentioned it in my chat.
Cypher is on into Heatman stage here. He's the only player that's got something going so far, but of course still early game.
I got past the early game gauntlet of air and Clash. I got past the Biggie special. Once you get past the Biggie special at the start of Clash, then you have a real run.
Yeah, he's in good shape here. Yet again, gonna be moving on.
And then I realized I got another run to the Wily stages within half an hour after losing that Wily 2 pace. Like I'm just playing out of my mind.
He's got to be thinking about what happened last time in Wily 2 here, so hopefully he's able to get this zip set up.
Yeah, I'm always worried about the overcorrection.
Okay, that one is good. That one was definitely good. The
Wily,
pace.
Wily 4. This has been the bane of
This is it.
lately.
This is it. So the difficulty of Wily 4 is that you really have to draw on all the disciplines that you have in Rockman 2. You have horizontal zips, you have vertical zips, you have item 3 drops, you have a door crash that you have to do. Everything has to come together in this one stage where it's very high pressure.
And I kept just playing well and not losing it anywhere. And Wily 4 happened, went well.
To maintain his pace, but that's a 45. So he is on world record pace going into refights. So going into Wily 5, we knew Cypher was on a good pace. We didn't know his exact pace because as the way commentators had things set up, we can't really see their splits. So we knew he's ahead, but not by how much. He goes air first, which can really go badly if you don't get a good pattern, and he got a decent pattern. So we were thinking, okay, there's a chance here. Courtney's getting a really nice fight so far.
Nice, these low jumps.
Oh yeah, this is good. Once he got past Quickman, we were kind of like, this is probably gonna be it. This could be world record right here, right now, on Chase for the record.
Close.
I just need to do this zip, and I need to mash down the alien, and then I'll be able to achieve this thing that I would just be a massive, massive moment and accomplishment for me.
Oh, that's good.
We're gonna put Lapras in the daycare.
Let's go.
Because since I'm not gonna have a 6 Pokemon, I might as well have like a Bulkamon in the.
Everything off, but if he can avoid this first shot, he'll be in good shape.
Just don't touch the alien.
Alright,
Okay.
first phase good.
Oh my god. Dude, we got this. We got it.
It was a truly euphoric moment. It was euphoric.
That's it! World record!
You can hear
Cypher has
Cypher.
just gotten the world record. 26:43. Unbelievable.
I was just overwhelmed with emotion. I can't describe it any other way.
We saw that, not only is this record, but this is record by a significant amount. I was just kind of floored. He had done this knowing that, this is your last time that you're actually going to be running the game. It's now or never.
I was just overwhelmed with emotion, and then I just started crying.
Oh.
The run would be retimed as a 26:42, beating Elo by 6 seconds. And Cypher could finally take his well-deserved break. But at the end of the day, you just can't keep Cypher from Rockman 2. He'd spend the next few weeks on other tasks, but Rockman 2 was still calling his name. And sure enough, by March, he was back to doing record attempts. But this time, he wasn't alone. Cool Kid had driven his PB all the way down to 26:47, good for second place. And he was coming for the top spot. Cypher and Cool Kid were in a race for the next world record. They'd have new strategies to help. A high-level runner named Prizzy had developed a couple. First, there was the Clashman manip. By jumping and shooting left at the start of the fight, you can guarantee the 2-shot quick kill to save a bit of time. And second, Prizzy rediscovered that you could use item 3 to jump through the floor in Wily 4 to save time. This had been done in runs years ago, but Prizzy found that even though you have to
do I want to learn
wait for
Hyper
item 3 to
Beam?
disappear before doing the vertical wrap, it still saved time. There had also been a new strategy
Try to
discovered in
amnesia
the
sweep.
Quickman stage that Cypher first did in his 26:42. By doing a slight hesitation during the first zip, you could keep the lights on. It didn't save time on its own, but it made the rest of the stage easier. Cypher and Cool Kid both had a
I'm trying to
legitimate
consider if I
shot
want to
at
get rid of
this.
amnesia, maybe.
But on March 16th, Cypher found himself 6.5 ahead into Wily 5. A chance
I'll just get rid of
to
headbutt. I think I should just get rid of headbutt. Yeah.
Unfortunately, despite getting a great airman pattern,
It's just the best bet,
he
really.
misexecuted and lost 5 seconds. He'd finish it off as a 26:41. Still a small world record, but Cypher couldn't help but feel disappointed. This run wasn't what it could have been. It had the potential for a 26:3x time. A time that would have seemingly put the record out of reach. A time that he had theorized with Elo years prior for the absolute limits of the category. But one mistake in Wily 5 prevented it all.
This is it. This is it. I just need, like, I need a decent refights.
This was the record Cypher had been looking for. It was a solid run through Wily 4. He lost a little bit of time on the Airman and Quickman fights in their respective stages. But he knew he had time to save in Wily 5, and he saved 7 seconds. It put him well into the 26:3x range, and he closed it out with a 26:37. And as it turned out, this was good enough for Cypher to end the grind. He stopped playing the game, and his record remained far ahead of anyone else.
Okay. So,
well,
don't have to worry
at least
about
for a
it
little
getting over
while,
level, that's for sure.
Because just a few weeks later, Cool Kid was on his way. His time was down to 26:43, still 6 seconds from Cypher, but he was closing in quickly. See, Cool Kid wasn't just any speedrunner. He was also the Mega Man 1 record holder, a title he had held off and on for more than 3 years. It made sense that he would one day hold the Mega Man 2 record as well, but he had a really tough world record to beat in 26:37. On May 7th, Cool Kid got on a run that had a below average Heatman pattern, meaning he'd have some time to make up. He'd save a bit from a faster air fight, then saved a couple in quick from a frame perfect zip. By triggering it on the first frame possible, Mega Man only gets pushed up 1 tile instead of 2, meaning you can quickly zip through the boss corridor as well. Just about the only substantial mistake through the 8 robots was missing the initial item 1 placement on the Woodman zip. Going into Wily 6, he was about a second behind the record. If he could perfectly crash the door on the zip, he might just barely be able to get this.
Oh my god. This might go record, alright.
Wow.
Oh my god.
The run would be retimed to a 26:37.00, beating the record by 10 frames. Cypher's massive world record had only been standing for about 4 weeks, and more than 6 years after his initial Biggie discovery, Cool Kid had become the record holder. And then, everything went silent. For the first time in months, there was no active competition for Rockman 2's world record. Cypher had moved on, Cool Kid had moved on, and nobody else was within striking distance. And so, the record stood. And it stood for years. Through the rest of 2018, all of 2019, and all of 2020, Cool Kid's 26:37 stayed put as the world record. There were no rivals, no contenders. Nobody could beat the pair of 26:37s in the top spots. But then, in early 2021, guess who came back to run the game?
Look what you just saw, Karua. Look what you just waddled your way into.
Although he hadn't done serious record attempts in several years, Elo started up the grind again in January 2021. It had been so long. Could he still compete with the time set by Cypher and Cool Kid? Well, he quickly got a 2-second personal best. Then he took another 2 seconds off. And then another. Now down to 26:42.
All right, let's go get our
Elo was
delusionary
quickly
birds.
honing in on the world record. It all came to a head on March 26th, 2021. Elo got on a run that gained time early, but bled a bit going into the Wily stages. Entering Wily 3,
Make
he
sure
was
we have
about
enough
2 seconds ahead. This was a serious chance at a sub 26:40, but
We have
given that
enough,
his best possible time from here
balls
was
and stuff.
26:34, it actually still had an outside shot
What's Team
at the
27?
world record. This was a
Is
small
there?
but
Well,
possible chance
no, I don't
to
see
jump
myself ever using
straight
that.
to the record.
Whoa, my power almost just went out. Oh my god, my TV.
How many Ultra Balls do we
I'm not
have?
kidding.
How much
One
money do
bar.
we have actually? 200,000.
My power just massively flickered and my TV looks completely I'm not even kidding. All the colors just went.
Got a good amount of.
Am I still? Whoa! It did it again. Did it again. Did it again. And my power. Are you?
Let's
serious?
Elo would continue doing runs for a few weeks, but he'd
50's
never
probably
take
good.
his personal best under 26:42. To this day, that's where his best time stands.
Make sure my
He's
box is
still
switched.
considered one of the best to ever play the game, but it remains to be seen if he'll ever take the record again. However, it wouldn't take long for there to be more competition at the top level, because just a few months later,
No, I
Cypher
haven't got
would return to
that
the
right now.
game. A big reason why Cypher and Elo came back in 2021 was a new, faster way to play the Wily stages.
I don't have a cut on them
It
on.
was first found
I gotta
in
go
TAS
get
for
my
2015,
bloom.
but was rediscovered by Shinryu in 2020. You start by using item 2 on Wily 3 instead of Wily 1, which is still pretty fast, but saves a bit of item 2 ammo. This allows you to fly through Wily 4's spike screens. On the first, you want to wait until you take damage, then use item 2 on the next screen to avoid having to wait for the conveyor. On screen 3, you can place item 2 at the top and quickly make it to the other side. Altogether, this saves
I didn't
about
fight you.
2.5 seconds, but it is quite a bit more difficult than the old route. There was also a new zip in Wily 3 that saved a bit over a second, and a runner named Endy had a new setup for the dog scrolls that made them more consistent in exchange for a small time loss. All these strategies were enough to make Cypher come back. He knew the record could go under 26:37, but just how far wasn't clear.
I went to go first.
He grinded for months, and initially didn't see any results. But on July 10th, he'd have a
Your
run
power
that fell
plant.
behind the world record early. A bad
Counter.
airman pattern, slow execution
Magnemite.
of Biggie, and no frame perfect zip on Quick. But he saved it all back and more in the Wily stages. The Wily 3 zip, the new Wily 4 route, it all combined to save him several seconds.
I'm not using this thing. I don't know why I'm even trying.
No, I did it! Ah! Yes! Oh my god!
For the 6th time, he had set the Rockman 2 world record. But you know something interesting about Cypher? Despite being one of the best to ever play the game, the longest any of his previous 5 records ever stood was 4 months. He was often the first to break a long-lasting record, but for each and every world record he set, someone else would beat him shortly after.
I can't imagine
This
I'm gonna be using that.
26:34 was a nice improvement, but it wasn't perfect. He did lose a lot of time early on. There was only one way for Cypher to guarantee he wouldn't be beaten. Get a perfect run.
Per point. If you play perfectly, you can't be beaten. Thunder's good. Yeah, we're gonna want to keep that. No, we definitely want to keep that. Well, I don't know if I can say that.
Oh, don't tell me to pay some mod, please.
have to tag it. I can risk it. All right, let's get our Gyarados encounter.
All right, this is it.
What the catch rate calculator real quick.
Yo, that's hilarious.
It was on pace for 26-26. Cypher was set up to get the game's biggest record cut in 8 years. But he went for an extremely quick kill on the alien that's far harder to execute than normal. It was supposed to look like this.
Oh my gosh! That was insanely lucky.
The first time I ever did it!
It would have been...
That I cannot believe that he lived with that. I'm not complaining.
Of a nearly decade-long journey.
Wait, I forgot. I could just...
It wasn't meant to be. And to this day, he's still searching for it. As for his fastest completed...
Yeah, I have a master ball. I'm an idiot. I unnecessarily risked Zapdos' life.
Longest-standing world record. It remained on top for 7 months. But it's not where the world record stands today. That honor goes to Cool Kid. On February 3rd, 2022, Cool Kid set the game's current world record. It got off to a great start.
Oh man.
Man fight and clean Clashman stage. And from there to the finish, it continued on a steady pace. Never
I cannot believe how close that was. That was ridiculous. Alright, we can finally deposit
He lost a bit in Wily 2 from picking up health.
Finally deposit Mips. You served us well, dude, but no longer need you, Brim.
I don't know if he's fast enough.
Yeah, 3 HP, dude. I cannot believe that, man.
And to this day, this run remains as the world record. As far as this game has come, its future is still wide open. A sub 2630 is on its way.
Anyway, yeah, we could just Master Ball, the Articuno. So.
LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. It's a game that millions played upon original release, and 15 years later, nostalgia is driving another wave of popularity. As more people play LEGO Star Wars, a question emerges. How quickly can the game be beaten? The LEGO Star Wars speedrun has the precision of a 3D platformer combined with the glitches and tricks of a broken NES game. And for the past few years, a dedicated community of runners have been battling each other to take the world record lower. This is the history of LEGO Star Wars World Records.
You know, I actually probably would have used Slowpoke in the Elite Four if I, yeah.
And now, a word from this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. For years, a player named CabbageShirt300 was in search of the world's best mobile game. But then, a familiar game called Raid Shadow Legends introduced something new. In December 2022, Raid added MMA fighter Ronda Rousey as a playable character. She comes equipped with some of the most powerful skills in the game, and is perfect for both PvP battles and taking on tough bosses. By logging in and playing Raid for 7 days before February 20th, you automatically unlock Rhonda. It seemed like Cabbage Shirt had found his perfect game, but then something amazing happened. Raid recently introduced a special promo code RAID Rhonda, where you'll obtain 3-day 100% XP boost, 500k silver, and 5 full energy refills. Just enter the promo code RAID Rhonda in-game. Also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get exclusive rewards in Raid right now. Download Raid now by scanning this QR code or clicking the link in the description. Not only will you be getting unique bonuses valued at $30, but you'll also be helping me out quite a bit. Scan the QR code now and start playing today. First, let's clear up any confusion with the timeline of the series. LEGO Star Wars the video game was released in 2005, where you could play episodes 1 through 3. This was followed up by the original trilogy in 2006, with episodes 4 through 6 being playable. Finally, in 2007, these games were combined into LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, allowing you to play through all 6 episodes. While the 3 versions are all speedran today, the most popular one by far is The Complete Saga, the topic of this video. Now, the earliest full game speedruns of The Complete Saga date back to 2013, but it's a bit of a hazy timeline. See, back then there was no concrete rule set. The initial method was to play through episodes 1 through 6 in order on the game's Super Story mode, which adds a timer to the bottom of the screen and doesn't have status screens between levels. Later, runners switched to playing the episodes on Replay Story, meaning you can use any red brick upgrade on any level. Since these records didn't have a standard rule set, and also some were filmed with a potato, we'll skip going over them in detail. However, serious props should be given to the record holders, popCat and Lexos, the champions of the Complete Saga's early era. For the next 2 years, no records would be set. But in 2015, the community began to form once again, and for the first time, standardized rules were created. All runs would be played on New Game instead of Replay Story. All red bricks, which are unlockables that give you a special ability, were banned. And you could only play with one player. Calling in player 2 at any point was disallowed. These rules formed the backbone of runs starting in 2015, and the first record to abide by them was played by SunKERN, clocking in at 3 hours, 44 minutes, and 46 seconds. Now, this might seem long for a speedrun, but LEGO Star Wars is a long game. It has 36 levels, most of which take several minutes to get through. On top of that, there are also nearly an hour of unskippable cutscenes between the levels. So, how did SunKERN speed the game up? Well, his general strategy can be seen in Negotiations, the first level in episode 1. He killed enemies and built objects needed to progress, but beyond that, he was running through everything as fast as he could. Oftentimes, there was no need to actually kill enemies. You could just perform tasks and ignore them, and if you die, you quickly respawn and can keep going. In level 2 of episode 1, SunKERN showed off quick platforming, jumping through the stage while avoiding slowdowns. Another simple strategy used was on bosses. On fights like Darth Maul and Jango Fett, SunKERN used the Jedi Slash over and over, the most effective way to drain the health of bosses. So thus far, it seems that SunKERN was still following all the rules of the game. He was just doing the minimum possible and optimizing everything for speed. But no, there's more SunKERN did we've yet to discuss. Because like I said earlier, LEGO Star Wars is a broken video game. In level 5 of episode 2, you normally have to use one bomb to take out one side of the barrier, then go back and get a second bomb to take out the other side. However, the collision of the barrier stops extending out to the right once the right side is destroyed. So, by doing a precise spin move, you can make it around the barrier without having to backtrack for the second bomb. It's known as the 2-5 first barrier skip, and saves roughly 14 seconds. In level 2 of episode 4, you normally have to build and push a block to progress through the stage. But if you instead veer off to the left and double jump off of a slope in the wall, you can make it to a platform and skip right through it. Once again, this saves roughly 14 seconds. And in episode 5, one of the biggest skips in SunKERN's run takes place. To end level 2, you have to get on top of the Millennium Falcon, and the intended method to do this involves unlocking a door to release animals and jumping off of their backs. Instead, SunKERN precisely spaced a double jump to barely reach the top early, saving 40 seconds. In all, there were more than a dozen tricks like this across the run, adding up to minutes of time save. There's honestly too many of them to go over in depth here, but many of them followed the same pattern, doing a precise jump somewhere you're not supposed to in order to skip doing something else that would take longer. We'll see more of these tricks later. But as a whole, SunKERN's run was on another level compared to the runs from 2013. Fewer mistakes, more tricks, and a cleaner speedrun overall. It was a great starting point, and it stood as the record for almost a year. But in mid-2016, along came a player known as TSG. And what TSG did to the world record was this. In 2016, a runner named TSG came onto the scene. By June, he'd have the world record, and over the next year, he'd do that 9 more times. His dominance can be attributed to a few things. First, his skill level was well beyond that of any other runner. The only one who was close was SunKERN, but he couldn't catch up. Second, this was an incredibly active period of discovery for the game. You'll see soon how many new tricks TSG was able to use. And third, TSG played the game on PC. This wasn't fully known at the time, but running the game on PC is much faster than any other version, mainly from having faster load times. TSG's first record was a 341.17, and after the first level, he was presented with the option to save or not. After you save for the first time, you lose a couple seconds from auto-saving after every level. However, it does allow you to reset the game before a cutscene plays at the end of each episode, since your progress is saved before then. This allows you to more quickly start the next episode instead of watching a long cutscene, especially after episodes 3 and 5, and the time save is further compounded from the fast resetting that you can do on PC. And of course, he had a plethora of new strategies to use, particularly in episode 5. One was in stage 5-2. C-3PO can't jump, so you normally have to build a cart to take him up this ledge. But instead, TSG just punched him and pushed him up, saving roughly 22 seconds from not having to use the cart. And in 5-4, you normally have to have Yoda teach Luke the Force and build bridges for R2 to use. But why do that when you can just use bad collision detection in the wall and get up anyway? This was discovered by Grubo, and saves a solid 30 seconds. But the most notable trick in the run was one known as DV3, short for Darth Vader 3. In this form of the fight, you're supposed to deflect objects into Darth Vader, then eventually glass comes down and you can jump across. However, it's just barely possible to jump across without the glass, meaning you can skip the entire fight. You have 3 frames of leeway between the 2 jumps in the double jump, and it was easily the most difficult trick in the run. But if done properly, you would save over 70 seconds from not having to fight Darth Vader. And thanks to these 3 tricks and more, despite having some big slowdowns, TSG had his first world record. His record streak would continue over the following weeks, and the run had a couple major changes. First, he changed the episode order, playing episode 5 last. Players were allowed to play them in any order they wanted, but putting episode 5 at the end was beneficial since its ending cutscene was the longest, and timing stops before the cutscene plays. This way, it's not included anywhere in the final time. And the second change was the removal of a leaderboard rule. Red bricks were no longer banned. That meant he could use certain unlockables as he found them throughout the game. The 2 big ones he used were exploding blaster bolts, which lets you kill some enemies quicker and blow up certain barriers, and infinite torpedoes, which means you always have them behind you in the flying levels and don't have to go pick them up. Having these 2 upgrades across much of the run saved several minutes, and when combined with better execution of other tricks, allowed TSG to take the record under 3 hours and 30 minutes. New strategies were also getting discovered left and right, and in late 2016, one of the most obvious oversights from the developers was found by a player named Osamnol. On the last level of episode 1, you're supposed to fight Darth Maul by forcing objects into him. But over on the right, there's a lamp, and for some reason, everything below the lamp is considered by the game to be out of bounds. You can stand and jump in any out of bounds area, so it's possible to just jump off the wall to the top of the lamp and across to the other side. As simple as that, you could save 30 seconds. By April 2017, TSG had taken the record to 3 hours and 24 minutes, and with second place more than 7 minutes behind, he was in full control of the world record. However, in May, a key rule was lifted. Back in August 2016, the ban on red bricks was lifted, and now, players were allowed to call in the second player. Welcome to the world of 1 player 2 controller strats. So what's the benefit of using a second player? Well,
what
LEGO
isn't the
Star
benefit
Wars
is a
was
better
designed
question.
to be a 2-player game, and some sections can be completed much faster with the second player. In 4-5, for instance, if you have 1 player, you're supposed to build a cart to go over buttons fast enough before they turn red. But if you're using 2 players, no need for the cart. There's a couple sets of these buttons in 4-5.
I'm an
If you
idiot.
skip using the cart for both, you save a full minute. However, you're not allowed to have a physical second player to help you out. You have to do everything alone. So, whenever you want to call in player 2, you have to control them both at the same time. It's known as 1 player 2 controllers, or 1P2C, and on PC, there's 3 options for this. You can use 2 controllers, you can use 2 parts of the keyboard, or you can use a keyboard and a controller. Most runners nowadays go with the keyboard controller method, but in June 2017, TSG set a record with the controller method. The only point TSG used 1P2C in the run was in 4-5, but the community knew there could be applications elsewhere. Less than a month after TSG's run, it would be beaten by a new player, Rauschmore. He had been a contender for a while, but rapidly improved his personal best in mid-2017 to take the top spot. He too used 1P2C in stage 4-5, and thanks to a couple new strategies in episode 6, pulled ahead for a new world record by 90 seconds. However, TSG was up to the task, and just a week later he took the record back. By the end of the year, TSG's time was down to 3 hours, 19 minutes, and 30 seconds. The 3:19 run had a notable new trick in the first phase of the Darth Vader fight. After dealing 2 hearts of damage, Darth Vader jumps around and won't knock Luke's Stormtrooper helmet off. You can then use R2 to precisely land on the white part of the panel, then fly and avoid a death plane to barely make it to the other side. Once there, you activate a platform for Luke and open the door with the Stormtrooper helmet to skip nearly the entire fight. The trick, nicknamed DV1, saves 45 seconds and was discovered by a runner named Zolas. When combined with DV3, it was quite evident that stage 5-5 was becoming the most critical point of the run. Speaking of Zolas, he would set the game's next record, a 3:16:12. He implemented 1P2C across the run more. Some were small time saves, like deflecting shots so that R4 could safely activate the panel in 2-2, and others were more substantial. In 4-5, you could now use Chewbacca to activate the elevator and ride it immediately, instead of having to use Han Solo and wait for its second cycle. A time save of about 12 seconds. But interestingly, Zolas played the game on Wii. We know from before that this is slower than the PC version, but there's another consideration to be made. The Wii version requires using both the Wii Remote and the nunchuck, so to do 1P2C, you need to juggle 4 controllers at once. Still, Zolas was able to pull it off, with a world record by over 3 minutes. TSG followed this up a few months later with a 3:14:28. It was notable for implementing yet another trick into level 5-5. DV1 and DV3 already had skips, and now, Darth Vader's 4th form did as well. It was possible to do a couple of precise double jumps, and skip having to use the Force and having to use R2. They have the potential to save about 7 seconds, and just added to the skill needed in 5-5. Episode 5 as a whole was becoming really brutal, and since it has the longest end cutscene, it had to be at the very end of the run. So let's take a look at our timeline so far. TSG started dominating in mid-2016, and although he twice lost the record to Rauschmore and Zolas, he'd always been able to fight back. 2 years later, his name was still on top of the leaderboard. But TSG's 3:14 from June 2018 would be the last record he would ever set. The game was about to enter a new era, because in October 2018, Rauschmore did this. Over the span of just 3 weeks, Rauschmore took the record from a 3:14 down to a 3:09. The key was the rapid discovery of new tricks by a runner named L-Tree. Tricks that would save up to 8 minutes. And the first one
finally got an really team.
Stupid.
That didn't take too long.
Killing the Emperor normally takes a substantial amount of time. However,
Alright, now what we want to do is we want to get our movesets figured out.
And die intentionally, upon respawning, you can just push him off the edge. It skips the remainder of the fight and saves 45 seconds. Later, it was discovered you could push him off at the start of the fight by calling in player 2. It saves an additional minute and is known as the Ultra Kill.
Go check up on Lapras, so see how many levels it got. So levels level 15 we deposited it.
You can skip the spy fight by using the Force on R2. This pushes him past the trigger to start the fight, and if you call him in after,
25 levels.
you can just go in the open door and save about 50 seconds. But the real big time save was in 6-3.
Let's go figure out what moves we want to get.
You're supposed to hop in your speeder and drive through the roughly 5-minute course. Instead,
first of all,
if you
what teams do we have in our
barrier
like here? I'm not going to be teaching any of our Pokemon Mega Punch.
And you can do a 360 to make it over the barrier. This activates the end of the course, and you can skip the entire thing to save several minutes. These discoveries helped lead to 4 consecutive records from Rauschmore. His
Reflect, I'm going to sell that. I'm not going to use that.
309 from October 2018 would be the final record set in the year. But interestingly,
Thunder.
As the record stayed put at 309, the run started to get massive views on YouTube. It went semi-viral, and many people who saw the video
Do I
thought
wanna
it could be
teach
fun
Thunder
to try
to you?
running it themselves.
I don't think so.
And largely thanks to Rauschmore's video,
We're gonna go
by
sell
early
that.
2019, there was a new crop of runners ready to gun for the world record. In 5th place, there was C.
Just withdraw every
with a
TM that we have in here.
3:11:37. In 4th place, there was Wii Super with a 3:10:45. In 3rd place, there was Osama
No, I didn't.
with a
Hold up, hold up.
3:10:06. And in 2nd place, there was Shred with a 3:09:54. All 4 runners were closing in on Rauschmore's record, and it was obvious that one of them would beat it soon. The general consensus for the favorite to do so was Osamnol, but all 4 of them had a shot at it. And then, one of them broke through.
Alright.
On February 11th, 2019,
Go through each of our TMs. Okay, so we got Toxic. Everyone can learn that.
To first place.
Anyone want to teach it to specifically? I could teach it to Diglett. That wouldn't be awful.
2.5 minutes.
Also wouldn't mind teaching it to
Senor had gotten into the game after
Articuno.
Rauschmore's video, and although he lowered his time quickly,
over
he was comfortably behind the other record contenders.
do I want to learn
But
Fly?
the key to Senor's
What's
winning
Articuno's
this
attack
record
stat?
was 1P2C. He used it all over the run. He used it for multitasking. He used it to get one player in position while the other player
it's alright.
He used it
Those
to
tags
push
better.
characters further ahead. These were small time saves on their own, but they added up when used across.
Do I
a
really see a
3-hour
scenario
run.
where Toxic will be
This was
used? I don't
also the
know.
First run to use the incredibly difficult.
Whatever, all I do know is
twist
it's better than
in
Peck, whatever.
6-2. After building the
Alright,
speaker,
next,
you then try
Rock
and
Slide.
position Luke so he's
Diglett can learn it and
exactly
Snorlax can
50%
learn it. I think we
inside
should
of the
teach it to
speaker once
Diglett.
it's finished being built. The game doesn't know what to do when you're
Forget
inside a
Sand
built
Attack, I
object.
guess.
So if you're next to a wall,
Alright.
it will
Next
sometimes
is
push
Try
you through
Attack.
it.
No one can learn it.
Meaning
Alright.
go out of
Next
bounds
is
and
Thunder
skip
Wave.
building the disco party to save 40 seconds.
Zapdos can learn
This
it.
is a
But
really
do I
precise
want to learn it?
Since you have to be positioned just right to flip out of bounds.
Forget
But if
Thunder
you miss
Shot,
it, you
I
can just
guess,
break the
because
speaker
I'm
and
gonna
try
probably teach
again.
it Thunderbolt anyway, so it's whatever.
With all the competition from top
I can-
runners, people did.
Let me do this in front of
Senor's
the
record to last long.
shop so I can sell the
But it
teams I
would
don't
only
want.
last for 3
Slash
days.
can't use.
On Valentine's Day 2019.
Alright,
Shred
Psychic.
took the record with
Only
a
Snorlax can learn Psychic, which
3:06:47.
honestly might be worth it.
Shred had been running the game for over a year, but only became a serious record contender early in 2019.
It might be worth it.
And his record was an
Oh, I don't know.
improvement by nearly 3 minutes, which was especially
I don't think-
impressive given that it was played on a Wii.
honestly.
It didn't do much new over Senor's record,
Check out
but was
Snorlax's
better
stats.
executed. It had a first try ultra kill and a cleaner episode 6 overall. Senor fired back just 3 days later with
Yeah, I
another
don't know,
2-minute
man.
record improvement. The world
I think
record
Hyper
was
Beam
now
might
down
be
to
more
a
useful.
3:04, but it still had some significant.
The thing is though, if I
Senor lost nearly a minute
I don't know.
on Disco Skip and over 30 seconds in 5-5.
let's not learn it yet,
using
we'll
the
keep
GT
it
skips.
around, but we'll see.
So
Okay, we got double
clean
team.
up those
Every
tricks,
single Pokemon can learn
save a
that.
bit elsewhere, and add in a
Might be
couple
worth
new
teaching it
strategies.
honestly.
And suddenly, Sub 3 didn't seem out of the question. In March 2019, 2 runners started to pull ahead from the rest of the pack. Senor and Wii Super.
No, I don't think it's worth it
Both
to
of these
teach
guys
that
have
to
only
any
gotten into
Pokemon.
the game in the last few months, but they lowered their time side by side and got good quickly.
Alright, this is Ice
they
Beam.
raced each other frequently.
You already know
and
it.
Although Senor
Snorlax
was
also can learn
slightly
it.
ahead on the leaderboard,
No.
Wii
Gyarados
Super
can
was
learn it.
never far
That
behind.
might be worth it.
As March progressed,
I don't know.
These two made
We
it
can't
clear
forget Strength and
they both
I might wanna
wanted
keep
to make
Hydro
a
Pump.
push for the world's first Sub 3. It
Really
was
risky move.
barely in the realm of possibility.
But I think it's still worth
But
keeping
with
it.
the two of them pushing each
No, I
other,
don't think we want to teach
a
Ice Beam to
sub
anyone.
3-hour run
Cosmic
started
Toss,
to
just
feel
no.
more real than ever.
Body Slam. Maybe teach it to you. No, you already have Slash. Slash is better for you. Guaranteed crit's more important. And then I can't teach you Gyarados because you already have Strength. Anyway, Dig. You already know Dig. Thunderbolt. You want to teach that to Zapdos? Not even a question. Forget. Let me see what Thunder's accuracy is in this game. 70 accuracy. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't see a scenario I'm like ever gonna use that ever. So, or forget thunder. At least not over thunderbolt anyway. And I still don't know if I want to teach psychic to Snorlax or not. It's such a hard decision, man. I don't think I do, because I'm gonna be using Diglett for Agatha if I can help it. I can always like learn it like again if I need to, like in case one of my Pokemon dies, something like that. Anyway, we could sell top 3 TMs. All right. Let's get the rest of our TMs. Oh, I don't want to draw the freaking
The world's first sub 3. Xenor had skipped straight over 259 to a 258.50. His run was roughly even through episode 6, but he saved some time later over mistakes and slowdowns in his last PB. And at the end of the run, he still had to execute tricks like Hut Skip and DV3. It was an intense situation, but he was able to clutch
we
them
got Fire
out
Blast,
the first sub
Snorlax, and Gyarados can learn it.
Interestingly,
What else?
about
Honestly,
half
do
an hour before the end of Xenor's run, Wii Super
Fire Blast
started a
ever.
run of his own. And
So let's
this
go
run
and sell
would
that.
finish as a 259.04, the world's second sub 3. Had Wii Super started his run just a few hours earlier, he would have won the
Anyway,
race.
Blizzard,
in
yeah,
sub
we definitely
3.
want to teach it to
But instead,
someone.
he had to settle for second place, while Xenor got the glory. But Xenor's record wouldn't last long. He beat his own run by 43
Oh, you already
seconds
know
just
Blizzard,
a
right?
day
Okay.
later.
Um,
This run was notable for
maybe we want to teach
introducing
it to
a piece
you.
of RNG. In 4-4,
I don't know. I'll think about
there's
it.
a section where Obi-Wan is supposed to appear across
Soft
the
boiled,
room
no
on
one
the
can learn it.
bridge after you arrive.
Whiffed.
The
Just
way
no.
the game tries to get him there is
Earthquake.
by running through a room with barrels.
Snorlax can learn
If he
Earthquake.
gets
It
stuck
might be
behind
worth
the
it.
barrel,
I don't know.
The game turns him to try and get around
I
him,
don't think it is,
which
actually.
slows him down, but he still
Solar
eventually
Beam,
arrives
just
on the
no.
bridge.
Drill,
Usually.
no.
Sometimes he gets stuck.
Swords Dance,
And
no
if
one can
that
learn it.
happens, he never
Psychic,
shows
already
up,
went over that.
and you can't progress
Okay.
through the level. Lego
Was that all of
Wars
the
is an amazing
TMs?
game. Now,
It was.
runners used to have a way around this. You reload the bridge room
Those are
by
all the
entering
TMs.
an
And there's
exit
HMs,
into the
obviously, so there's
previous
Cut,
room,
no.
which guarantees
Fly, obviously,
Obi-Wan
Strength
will
and
show
Surf.
up for a 2-second time loss. But players then found 4-4 cutscene skip. By jumping off of this ledge, you can hook back and enter an out-of-bounds area to skip to the next room. This means a cutscene
okay,
doesn't play and you save 18 seconds. However, as a
Well-
consequence of the cutscene not playing,
Well, we'll keep
you
them
can
in the
no
party
longer
for now or
reload
whatever
the
because
bridge
of,
room, since you wouldn't be able to leave the previous room if you enter it.
Because of Lapras, I guess.
Obi-Wan
But,
RNG
alright, well, that's pretty
was
much it, I guess. I guess we're ready for,
If you didn't wanna show
ready
up,
to,
you were
continue.
in big trouble. A couple weeks later, a fairly
Let's lead with the
substantial change
Zapdos here.
The community decided to
Alright, let's take on
alter
our
the way
rival.
runs were timed. Instead of starting when the players gained control in 1-1, it would now begin when selecting New Game on the main menu. This was mostly done so that movement in the Cantina would be considered in the final time. It added roughly 58 seconds to all runs. So, when Xenor set a record that would have been 257.36 under the old timing, it was retimed to 258.34. And that made it 4 consecutive records for Xenor.
Dude!
He was the first to sub 3, and now he was taking control of the leaderboard. And for Wii Super, he just couldn't catch up. He perpetually remained slightly behind Xenor, easily in second place, but ever since he missed his chance at the first sub 3, the world record eluded him. But after the 258.34, Senor announced that he would be taking a break from the category to focus his efforts elsewhere. Maybe this was the chance WeSuper needed. With Senor at least temporarily out of the picture, he could hone in on improving his time without needing to compete with anyone. And as it turns out, just 2 days later, it was only record by a second, but WeSuper had finally overtaken Senor. It was a run with a great early game, but he lost some time on speeder skip and had a weak episode 4. Still, WeSuper had broken through. Was this a one-time deal, or was he about to make something more out of it? 6 days later, a 60-second record improvement by WeSuper, largely due to saving time in episode 4.
Oh, gee, dudes are encounter.
The
No.
very next day, another 1.5-minute world record. 3 weeks later, 2 record improvements.
Dear
on the
Lord, I'm
same
going to get
day.
repels. I can't deal with this.
3 days later, a record cut by nearly 2 full minutes. Then WeSuper took a break, and when he came back, another world record. 7 records over the course of 3 months for WeSuper. The final one was a time of 2:53.04. After a while, Senor had come back to attempts, but this time the tables were turned. He was the one who couldn't catch up to WeSuper. The way he went on this run was through both improving his
2
own
encounters,
skills
really?
and utilizing new strategies. In 2-6, WeSuper began using Dooku Skip. By standing on a barrel, you can force it with player 2 and clip under the floor. By then dropping out with the inbounds player,
Oh
you
my
can
God.
forward past the trigger for the Dooku fight and enter the next room. The trick was found by Senor and saves up
What?
to 30 seconds.
Are the max repels?
WeSuper also began using the Vehicle Smart
What the
Bomb
frick?
It allows you to hold the special button in ship levels and make everything on
I don't
screen
have any
explode,
bag space, serious?
which can save
Oh
you up
my,
to 20
that's so
seconds.
annoying.
And interesting,
Really?
with these new tricks being incorporated and runners' skill levels improving,
I'm doing all this to save
someone
time and then I'm
new moved into
end up
second
wasting time
place.
because
Chimkin. He had been in 3rd place for months, even being a part of the initial sub-3 grind, but he always remained behind WeSuper and Senor. But he was improving.
dude, let me
By
buy
May,
max repels,
he was
please.
ahead
Thank
of
you.
Senor. And sure enough,
Ah,
when
dear
WeSuper
Lord.
woke up on the morning of July 6th, his record was gone. Chimkin had beaten it by over a minute, getting a 2:52 flat. It was a run with a slow early game, but after a gold split in 3-2, he was off to the races. He pulled ahead of the record and crushed it. So, WeSuper had to get back to work. And it took him 13 hours to get the record back. Over the coming weeks and months, WeSuper and Chimkin would trade the record back and forth. WeSuper was the first to take it under 250, with a 249.55 on July 17th. Chimkin would get the next record, and by the end of the year, it was down to 245.39. How did these two take the record down by 7 minutes? Well, there was a new red brick, Fast Force, which does what it sounds like. It lets you force objects faster. To obtain it quicker, Chimkin found a method of going out of bounds, then doing a death warp to get back on track. It's unlocked in 4-2, so players started playing episode 4 earlier in the run so they could use Fast Force in episodes 6, 3, and 5. And of course, there were a plethora of new strategies discovered in the second half of 2019.
Yo, what's going on,
Some
Nevi?
were small and saved
Made it just in time. We're about to take on the
while others saved closer
Elite
to
4
half a
pretty
minute.
soon.
But the big one was
I was hoping you wouldn't see me.
5-6. It's the last stage in the game, and it had an evolution of skips over the years. Way back during TSG's record reign, runners started doing a trick called Bespin out of bounds. You'd
Yeah,
jump
items I
roll
don't
off a
need.
ledge to land out of bounds.
Working,
and
no
progress
problem.
forward in the
Appreciate it.
stage to
I have a
skip out
million
into
teams
Go
I don't-
C3PO and open a door.
Don't need that.
It saved 45 seconds, but
Full heal,
was
okay.
immensely
How you doing? I'm doing pretty good.
Players used
About
this trick
to
for
finish
years.
a
But in December 2019,
Hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Red and Blue for the first time ever, so it was pretty cool. I'm doing this series because I want to legitimately beat a hardcore Nuzlocke of every single Pokemon game. From here all the way to Scarlet and Violet.
If it closes while you're at the top of your jump, you'll get pushed through the door frame and out of bounds. Ultimately, you can get to the same room as you did from Bespin out of bounds, but it allows you to do so nearly a full minute faster, and is much easier.
We'll just toss that now.
The only problem is that if you miss the door clip initially, AI characters can randomly run near the door and prevent it from closing. So you really want to get the trick first try. With all these time saves combined, and runners still improving their skills on top of that, the world record was down to a really solid 245. It was enough for Wii Super to take a break from grinding the category, and Shimkin had stopped playing it as well. Other than those two, nobody had a PB under 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Alright, we made it to the league, baby!
2019 and early 2020, the game would get a huge boost in popularity, thanks to an unlikely source.
Okay, we want to go get Lapras real quick out of the daycare.
Nostalgia for LEGO Star Wars. Millions played it while growing up, and after years had passed, they looked back on the game fondly. A trend began on TikTok where people changed their profile
Lapras
pics
is like
to mimic
really
how
not
they
that
look
high
in
level
LEGO
at all, and
Star
actually I have
Wars,
Pokemon in the box that are more high level, but whatever.
Circle around them. This increased the game's popularity on the internet as a whole.
In fact, yeah, I'm
as
gonna
people
deposit
remembered
Lapras to
LEGO
just get the
Star
highest
Wars
level one I
and
have,
wanted to experience it again.
which is I
As
think
such,
Emphysema actually.
Speedrun streams and videos exploded in popularity.
Alright.
Starting in early 2020, there was a new wave of speedrun activity. And suddenly,
Anyway, so we just want to buy a bunch of
February,
Bulbasaurs.
Wii Super had new competitors on his doorstep. In second place was T-Fresh, and in third place
Or by
was
30.
Led Astray. Both had a time of 2:47.
That's the minimum amount of
and
Bulbasaurs we're
both
gonna
had
need.
aspirations
Or
for a world
maximum,
record.
I mean.
Wii Super had no choice but to
Alright,
do more runs if he wanted to defend his
man.
title.
I guess this
He
is
did.
it, guys.
And in the span of just 1 week,
My rare candies.
he
Yeah, I
lowered
guess
the
this is
record
it. This is
twice, taking it down to 244.
so the level cap is level
But
62
this
for all
wasn't
my
the
Pokemon.
complete
So let's get all of them to level
domination that he
62.
had earlier. His competition
All this
continued to close
preparation
in.
for
Led
this
Astray
one moment.
got a 246, and a familiar face had actually jumped into second place. Xenor. The pressure
Alright.
was on for Wii Super. These guys
First
were
Pokemon we
both
got.
capable
First
of
Pokemon.
getting
First
the
trainer we got
record.
to deal with is
Could
Lorelei.
really obtain it any day now. Wii Super continued to do runs. And a couple weeks later, he achieved a run that put away any competition for the record. Months of
I don't think
attempts
there's any other
all led up
items we
to
want
this
to buy
moment.
or need to buy.
It was
anyway.
his ultimate run. Throughout the first 4 episodes,
Alright.
there were
Okay,
no
so first
significant
trainer's
mistakes.
Lorelei.
He gained a bit of time on nearly every
We
level.
could try to go
Beginning
for.
episode
We
6,
could try to
he
do a
needed 2
Zapdos
minutes
sweep,
ahead.
or we could try to
The
do
final 2 episodes are
a
3 and 5, and although they were
Snorlax
perfect,
like
they
strats, I guess,
were
with
good enough.
amnesia.
And when combined with the incredible start he'd had,
I think our best
the end
bet is
result was a
probably
monster world record.
Zapdos.
Wii Super wasn't that
Alright,
much riskier
let me save the
than
game.
anymore. Or was
100
it?
in-game hours in. Let's do
Xenor
this.
wasn't deterred
No
by
going
the
back.
task at hand. Wii Super
Lorelei
was
first.
now
Let me slow
3
down
minutes
the game. I
ahead,
gotta take my time
but
with this one.
Xenor knew he could close the gap. On March 27th, he took his PB down to 244.
Alright, Lorelei. First
And on
one
the
is
31st,
Dugong.
He shaved another half minute off.
We're gonna go Thunderbolt.
Despite the optimization,
Nice,
of
one
Wii
shot,
Super's
okay.
record, Xenor was actually
Oyster is
able to
definitely a
close
one-shot with
in.
Thunderbolt.
These two guys were ahead of the pack.
Slowbro is
Just
gonna
like
be a
the
little
initial
bit
sub-3 grind,
interesting. I
Wii
don't know.
Super and
Okay, I
Xenor
didn't know for sure if we would
were
one-shot or
in a
not.
battle.
Jinx,
Thanks to the game's
we actually
boost in
want to go for
popularity around
Drill
this
Peck
time,
here.
The community
Your
decided
defense
to have
isn't
a
that good.
LEGO Star Wars speed
And
run.
Lapras,
Wii
I
Super,
don't know.
Xenor,
Okay, we do one shot. Okay,
and
good.
most of the game's other
Alright, that's
top
Lorelei
runners
down.
participated. It was a double.
Alright, next is
elimination
Bruno,
tournament.
and for
There were
Bruno,
some
we want
great
to
times
do,
split
we want to
between
use,
several different runners. But when all
Gyarados.
was said and done, after the brackets were completed, who else would meet in the finals but Wii Super and Xenor? These two would get the benefit of a big new strategy discovered a few weeks ago in 6-1, Spiderless. By using a forcible object, you could clip into the wall, which was faster than the old method of using the spider. You can then come back in bounds to touch a grate, which acts as a trigger for the game to send you straight to the boss fight and skip the cutscene. This trick saved the whole
barely didn't one-shot.
seconds.
Finding Des Rickroll here.
A huge advantage for any runner who could pull it off. Up to this point, Senor had lost one match while Wii Super was undefeated. So to
Alright, next is Agatha, which we want to use
Senor
Doug
needed
Trio
to win
for.
twice, while Wii Super needed just one win. And Senor handily won the first game. Wii Super accidentally soft-locked in 5-1, losing several minutes.
Versus
and allowing
Gengar, you'll never guess
Senor
what we're gonna go for.
to an easy victory. That meant there would be a winner-take-all match the next day.
Hopefully Rock Slide hits here. Be good.
Champion.
Didn't kill.
This was going to
Okay,
be a
Haze is
tough
fine.
task
We're gonna
for
go for
Senor.
Slash here.
Think of all he had going against him. His personal best was
Hunter, we're
nearly
gonna
a
Earthquake.
minute behind Wii Super. He had lost to him earlier in the tournament.
Arbok, we Earthquake.
And he'd gotten a pretty lucky victory yesterday thanks to a
Now, do we outspeed this Gengar?
He was
We do.
willing
Okay,
to
good.
play out of his mind if he wanted to win this thing.
That's the only Pokemon I was worried about was their last Gengar, and kind of the
April
Golbat.
19th, 2020. In the
Alright,
final
next,
match of the
last
tournament,
is,
with his opponent heavily favored to win.
Lance, we want to use Articuno, for obvious reasons. He does lead with Gyarados, though.
This was Senor's first.
So
world
actually, we
record in
might want to
over a
lead
year,
with
back when the run was 60 minutes
Zapdos.
slower. And it was
Yeah, let's
actually
lead with
a close
Zapdos.
race through much of the run, but Senor eventually pulled ahead. And although Wii Super finished with a 242, he didn't.
This is where it gets intense, though, because
Senor won the match.
Oof,
He won the
this
tournament,
is gonna be.
and he got
Okay.
the world record.
Gyarados, we
And
Thunderbolt.
the race
No questions
to
asked.
240 was
Easy.
officially on.
Dragon. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I had the best team. I'm not going to make it this far. Yeah, no, I've just got my water bottle next to me. Anyway, this is my first ever hardcore Nuzlocke or Red Blue. I want to make sure I had the best team possible.
He got a 240.
Obviously, still nothing's guaranteed though. Okay, so we got Dragonair. We could try to go out to Articuno, but I don't know what to expect. Hyper Beam. Okay, that doesn't do that much. Alright, we want to just sweep with Ice Beam. Ice Beam Dragonair.
Sub 240 would have to wait.
Ice Beam Dragonair. Aerodactyl, I'm a little worried about. Okay, I didn't know if I outsped it or not, but it only has normal new moves. It only has normal moves. For some reason, they totally skimped out. They totally skimped out Aerodactyl in this game for some reason. All right, let's use an elixir on Articuno. Use an elixir on Zapdos. Use ether on Surf. Use an ether on Earthquake. And then I think that's really it, honestly. The only move left is Rock Slide, but we only used one power point for that.
If you miss it initially, bad luck can make you
Alright,
lose.
Force Store.
Over the following few weeks.
Alright, moment of truth, champion time.
A couple
Okay, hold on.
named
Before I go into the
Rickroll
champion,
and Ginger Legend got times in the 241 range.
I'm thinking I want to lead with Articuno, because we got agility.
And on July 14th, Senor had a run on sub 240 pace into 5-6.
I really wish I saved my rare
Once
candies,
again,
actually. Dang it.
Clip killed it. He ended up 1 second behind the world record.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, let's lead with Articuno. Alright, this is it.
Other players had caught up, and it was
This is
a
it.
dead
And we
heat
have a
for
coughing
sub
to sack off if we need to.
But on July 22nd, Wii Super had a run.
We got this, we got this, we got this. Okay, first one's Pidgeot.
He then lost
We're gonna
his
go for
opponent,
Blizzard.
4-5,
Okay, we land it,
and a great
nice.
Episode 6 put him back in the lead. He
Next is
had a rough
Alakazam.
5-5,
I want, man.
Sub 240 was still possible.
I might want to sack off coughing here.
And left just enough room to get a sub 240. 239.49. Wii Super had won the race. This was
Okay, hold on, let me
Wii
think.
Super's
So the rival
22nd
has
world
Venusaur.
record. He faced competition from some of
So we're
the
probably
best
gonna
in
want
the
to save
world,
Articuno for
but
Venusaur.
Time and time again, he had proven he could come out
So switching out is the safest option. So yeah, let's set off coughing here.
Finally felt he could take a break. And the runners in
Excuse me.
fourth place.
All right, let's go out to. I think we should go out to Snorlax here.
Motivation after being beaten
Either Snorlax or Gyarados.
They all
I think Snorlax is the best option though.
well.
Okay.
For the first time
I don't know if
in
Hyper
3
Beam's gonna
months,
one shot.
There was little
So let's just go
activity
Body
at the
Slam.
top of the leaderboard.
Okay, Body
That
Slam.
meant
One shots.
there
Okay,
was
we're good.
technically an opportunity
Okay, right on.
for someone outside of the top 4 to swoop in and make a
Let's go for
move.
Amnesia here.
Let's take a look at who was in 5th place.
Wow, I can't believe Rhydon got a crit. That's not likely.
This is Roadhouse. He had been running the game for about 3 months and managed to quickly enter the game's top 5.
I know it seems weird to go for rest when I'm
During
that
the
high of
sub
HP.
240 grind, he was comfortably
But
behind the big 4 runners. He wasn't considered to have a serious shot at the world record. But with all 4
he's just
of
setting
them
up for
stepping
the
aside,
future months.
this was his chance. In early August, he stepped into 4th place and lowered his PB.
Hyper Beam should one shot.
41-12.
Awesome.
And on August
All right,
10th,
last month's Venusaur.
he got on a
I don't know if this one shots.
about 15 seconds ahead of the
Boom!
record by the end of episode
Pokemon
4.
Red and Blue Hardcore
There was still a long
Nuzlocke
way to
defeated.
go, but he
Easy.
kept nailing
Let's
some
freaking go, dude.
hits. Spiderless in
Too easy.
6-1, Speeder Skip in 6-3.
Nice. I can officially say that I have beaten a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Red and Blue. Next Pokemon game we're going to be doing is Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Incredible episode 3.
So yeah, that'll be the next stream.
He bled some time
Well, next
there,
few streams, I
but
guess.
Going into the last
And
2 rounds of the run,
then,
5-5
you know,
and
Ruby,
5-6,
Sapphire, Diamond and
he
Pearl,
was only
Black
half
and
a minute
White,
behind.
Black and White 2,
Trying to enter the trick gauntlet. DV1, first try.
X and Y, Sun and Moon.
DV3, he faltered a bit, but got it.
Maybe
fixed.
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
DV4
After that, I'm
jumps,
not sure. Maybe.
Both first try.
Sword Shield
Finally,
and
door clip. Second try. This all saved about 40 seconds over the last
Scarlet and
two
Violet.
levels in Wii
And then once I don't do finish Scarlet and
was enough
Violet,
for
then I'll probably go back and do Yellow,
239.43.
Crystal, Emerald,
He had leapfrogged over
Platinum,
Kanto, Xenor, and Wii Super to
definitely
get
Ultra
the
Sun and Moon
world
if I
record.
don't do it the first time.
There was a new
And
face on
Brilliant
top
Diamond
of the
Shining
leaderboard.
Pearl. Oh, I forgot Mega
Well,
Mega
Wii
Ruby
Super
Alpha
wasn't
Sapphire.
going to take this
Like that.
lying
But
down.
there we go. We beat
Roadhouse
Pokemon
and
Red and Blue
beat him
Hardcore
by
Nuzlocke. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream.
Surely it
I'm
would.
going to leave it off there. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for dropping by, Neffy. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys very soon.